Our fourth speaker is Mr. Raja Mohammed, a former banker. Throughout Raja's extensive tenure in the banking and finance industry, he developed a parallel passion for sociology and community service. In retrospect, he has consistently gravitated towards harnessing technology to augment his service delivery and facilitate seamless communication. His unwavering quest has been to delve into realms of technology, continuously seeking avenues to enhance both his professional pursuits and his contributions to the community. Presently, Raja's primary focus revolves around leveraging cutting-edge technologies, including ChatGPT-powered chatbots, to address prevalent social issues impacting the Singaporean and Indian communities. Mr. Raja will lead us to explore AI and humanity. Let us welcome Mr. Raja. Mr. Raja, please.
The guy who's going to talk about AI cannot handle the mic. Not very convincing, isn't it? Well, very good evening, afternoon, and I want to thank the organizers for having me this afternoon. I'm here to share my relationship with, or experience with this so-called AI. I'll touch some of my experiences of what it does for the Tamil language, as I see that my previous speakers and colleagues, esteemed, learned colleagues, yours was a tough act to follow. I'll try and do that on the various languages and my experiences, which does not limit just to the Tamil language. I think you could extrapolate that to any other languages, all right? But it's some of the thinking and some of the shortcomings or some of the what would I call it, features that we could leverage from is kind of like, can be applied on other languages. Now, this image is came about when I took my own photo and then I uploaded it onto image generative software. And then I said, okay, now if I were to confront AI, how would it look? And that's the image. So I'm looking straight in the eye, and let's see who blinks first, all right? So that's where it's from. So it's so yeah, I think it kind of make me look. I don't know which one looks better, but anyway, that's me generated by that. And then it's very interesting. We're talking about this subject called AI. And then this meme came about. It's quite interesting, right? And, the fastest things on earth, bang, 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 and then people becoming experts in AI. Don't declare to be one, all right? Don't. However, it's quite interesting. What it makes us do is able to talk about some of the subjects a little bit more learned way. We are not experts, but some things that these AI functionalities allow me to understand better, and that's how I see it. So I'm not an expert, but I'm able to explain and both learn and also to explain it a little bit more, I would say, comprehensively. All right, so that's where we are. Now, today's topic that I kind of chose was AI and rethinking humanity. Right? Now, for us to go on to that title, I wanted to kind of like dive into what each one of them mean. Now, don't have to read everything in here, but I just want to point out the word AI first was born in 1955. Apparently, a couple of scientists got together, and then that's the first time they articulated the term AI. Now, why is it important? Because, they were limited by their experiences and the resources they have, and that's how they define it, AIS, because that was the circumstances that they were in. So they think that science and engineering of making intelligent machines, and they say that it was possible that the human brain is a physical system as such, the machine could mimic. So the whole thing about artificial intelligence is making intelligent machines. That's how they perceive intelligence it should be. Right? So that's how they first came about using the word AI. So look at that, some close to 75, 80 years ago, right? They coined the term AI. So it's nothing new. But why are we talking about AI today quite prevalently is what we would try and answer in a while, right? So the first word is AI. And then what is AI today? But today, AI is not just associated with human intelligence, such as learning and reasoning, but it also solves problems, right? So let me give you an example. In the early days, if you were to have a electronic or a robotic arm's job is to chop vegetables, for example. So all it does is just do that act. So you put a sharp end to it, and then you put whatever, it just chops. Even if you put your finger, it would. Because that's what it says. It's not learning. It's purely doing repetitive something. So it is AI? Yes, it is AI. But that's all it does. But today, technology allows you, and the deep learning, as they call it, may stop if it comes to something that it does not decipher as a vegetable. So that's where we are. So in the early days, AI was defined as anything that makes human job simpler, repeat. But today, it's able to reason, learn, keep it in store, and then repeat it again. So that's what. Now, why is it important for us to talk about it? Is because AI in the next 20 years may not be what we are talking today about, because it's evolving, it's changing, its application is getting tremendous, and very wide. So that's where AI is. And then come the next language called humanity, right? So what is humanity, and when was it first uttered? So I go to the genesis of that word. So apparently in this book, as you could see, 44 BC, right? It's the first time the word humanity is used, right? So it first meant to say, the root word is human, obviously. So humanity was then said, how do you treat another human being? And that's all it is. And then today, humanity is not just a human being alone. As you could see, it has evolved into how you treat the environment. How do you treat it? You see the tree huggers, or you talk to your plants, all right? And then people are talking to how the human being is being evolved. Our identities evolve. So tomorrow we need to be kind to a humanoid, right? Because do you need to, as my previous speaker said, the chatbot was more empathetic, right? Than the physical physician, for that matter. So that's where the word humanity is also getting evolved. So what will humanity be in the future? So that's where we are, right? And again, I just put all these words into Mid-Journey, if you ever used it, and that's what it gave me. So this is the image it threw out. I didn't draw it. So just to tell you. So as you could see, human and humanoids will perhaps coexist. Now, how many of you here have seen the movie called She? Anyone at all? You've seen it? So what happened in there? In that movie, a guy hears a voice just like the Apple's Siri. And he started falling in love with it. So he's not falling in love with another human being. He started. And that voice too kind of like responded to him, right? So would you call that, would you have the aspect of humanity in there? And there was another movie called Ex Machina or Machina. That is another one that talked about human beings' interaction with robots and etc. So that's where we are. So we found out what AI was or started off as, and how is it evolving, hasn't stopped, and then what is humanity and how it won't stop too. So that's where we are, right? So today I'm just going to very quickly run through what is this Tamil language is about, how it has evolved, what are the opportunities and challenges that we've got in that language, not necessarily just confining to it, it could be applying to any other languages too. How could we leverage from it? As we saw how my learned speaker before this showed, they created the matrix and how we could decipher them and improve them, and etc. And then what are the new frontiers? Now, the Tamil language is currently spoken some 80 million people globally. Together with Arabic, Chinese, and Mandarin, it is always cited as a living classical language, which means that we are speaking it today too. Some of them say it's 2,000, some say 25,000, and one guy even went on to say it's the first language of the world. Debatable. But nevertheless, it's spoken of as a classical living languages. That's where we are. It has got some sophisticated phonology, agglutinative. First time I heard that word, but I found out what is it, and I'll show you what it is. And then it has got pretty vibrant vocabulary. In other words, I wanted to show you some attributes of this language, which is being spoken in many countries, and mostly in Asia, and then 80 million in speaking. You see that, could you help me with that? Is this the middle one is the same? Yeah, this is a very interesting letter in the Tamil, and I'll show it to you why. Is it this slide, the next one? All right. So there's this phonology about it. Yeah, the first one, as you could see. Apparently that letter that I just talked about, which is that, right? And it is not borrowed or adapted or sound from any other. So that particular word is symbolizing of the Tamil language. The word Tamil, so you got to take your tongue out, roll it back, and put it in. that's how you pronounce that L sound. All right. So it has got some very interesting characteristics, and I think that's some. It has got a survivability about it. It is you throw the language into any circumstance and it survives. You may have heard of Malaysian Tamil, Madrasi Tamil, and Sri Lankan Tamil. It's a still Tamil language, but that's the beauty of it. It's able to, just like liquid, able to adapt to the container that it goes into. So that's some of the beautiful attributes of this language. All right. So this is the interesting agglutinative feature of it. All right. So basically, you could take a root word and then you could add prefixes, and then it can kind of make it into many. For example, in English, if I want to go, let's use the word pretend. Right? So pretend, and if I add ER, it's pretender. And then IUS meaning pretentious, etc. And then in Tamil, it goes on beyond that. So if you do the comparison between English and Tamil, I could only use it once, right? Pretender and pretentious, etc. But what has happened here, for example, as you could see, this pretty long one, right? Now that is what has been, that is the composition of that one word. So it actually means, you have to really twist your tongue out for that one. But this one word means that. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's the beautiful agglutinative nature of the Tamil language. All right? Now this slide tells you, in the English alphabet, you have, if you don't consider A as a word, right? But I is the only single lettered word in the English, right? I. In Tamil, we've got 45 lah. Right? That's what we've got. So there are 45 single lettered word. I'm sure Dr. Mani, am I correct, or is there more? Right? So that's some of the beautiful aspects of it. And then here again, you don't need to read it. So I went to Microsoft and I said, how do they support Tamil language? And these are the ways that Tamil language is being supported in the IT world. So for Microsoft, it supports it. So I could type in Tamil, I could check, and it's got thesaurus, it's got translation tools, learning resources. Yes, not very good. Right? I've tried it. But I believe Google does slightly better. And I wonder, is it because we've got a Tamil-speaking CEO? Sundar Pichai is a solid, Indian Tamil-speaking guy, right? So I don't know, because of everybody wants to sarcastically the boss, that go and did the Tamil language better or not. But it's got better. So if I try and do translation on Google for Tamil, it seems to be giving me slightly better than Satya Nadella. He hasn't done, in Microsoft. But anyway, so here again, you don't need to read, but this is how, just to tell you, there are some 8 attributes that supports in the iOS. So in other words, there are supporting for this language in the various platforms that we use, iOS or Microsoft and etc., or Android for that matter. All right? And then in Tamil Chat GPT, when you go and do that, we seem to get quite decent, but it's sometimes like I use it here, it also provides some incorrect, sometimes nonsensical. So what it's trying to do, it's trying to literally translate every word into Tamil. Okay, so there are some of the shortcomings. I'm not sure whether Bashir can tell me whether they've got good a corpus of translation for the Malay language or not. But for Tamil language, it's trying its best, but many of the times the answers are incorrect or nonsensical. But that doesn't mean we won't use it, right? But what we need to do is that we use it, but it gives me 70, 80%. That's good than having 0 or 5 or 10% for that matter. So we've got that, right? And there is something quite interesting, and I like it. In IIT, you all heard of IIT? What's it? What Institute of Technology? Indian Institute of Technology. Indian Institute of Technology and IIM are some of the most celebrated universities in the world, apparently. I tell you, kids start at age at what, 6 years, 5 years, right? Mothers started, in fact, sometimes while the baby is still in the stomach already, they've started training the kid to go to that institute. It's a very, 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 respected institute, and they've got them. And they are now coming out with something quite interesting, but as of date, this was not done last month or what, even now, it's not yet available to the public. But the fact of the matter is that they have now gotten some 100 million words. So they would be releasing it, and it will be extremely useful when we start using them in the AI space. Right? So what are the opportunities? The opportunities we have is tremendous. We could now deploy a developed translation model that can accurately translate. We could create interactive tools. You all can read it. But what I'm trying to allude to here is that if you all know about the much-spoken ChatGPT, what it does is it's not simply spewing out answers. It's also learning. So if you all have used it, it would ask you, so you go and prompt something, right? And then it gives you an answer. If you're not happy, then you could ask it to regenerate again. And when you do that, it asks you for thumbs up or thumbs down. Right? And if you go thumbs down, you actually can say where they are faulting. Now, you could use, and that's why it's learning. So if more Tamil institutes and students and teachers were to start using it, I believe it will get better. All right? And then the other, we think so that, like she said, student planning, your lessons are very simple. You don't have to do it in Tamil, just do it in English. And like one of the things I started using is give me 5, the prompt. Whenever you put in something, we call it the prompt. So your prompt is give me 5 titles that I could use for students at the age of 10 or 11. Okay, you don't say primary 6 because your primary 6 is not global primary 6. They call it level 2, and some people call it by different names. So you say for students at the age of 10 or 11, all right, in Singapore, and they should be skewed towards patriotism. And give me your answer in Tamil. And then ChatGPT will give it to you in Tamil. So as Tamil teachers, they will take it out and they will refine the titles, and then they can do it. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. And we just find that the way to use it is simply phenomenal. Even as we speak right now, sitting here, the technology out there is at neck-breaking speed. It's absolutely, you wouldn't know what's going on here. One of the things that's happening is I could take a newspaper article and then put into a Google translator that translates it into Tamil, and then I can go into another software that refines it, and then I would get another software that would now read all of this, give it voice to it, and then I could choose that voice to be either a male or a female, and then I can put it into a avatar, and then I could spew it out. So in other words, for marketing, people are using it. I'll show you some samples shortly, right? Now, I wanted to also talk about shortcomings. I'm not saying there's all hallelujah, blue skies, shortcomings, all right? So these are shortcomings. So this is an English translation of something, but when we try to use this in Tamil, I have to ask Dr. Mani's help. Does this word mean anything at all? Doesn't, yeah? So it does or it doesn't? It doesn't. So I don't know what on earth is that word, but that's what it's given me. So there are some shortcomings in there. The translation is not that perfect. However, I should not kill this whole paragraph just because of one word. Just to let you know what I'm trying to allude to. All right? The other shortcoming is that there aren't enough vocabularies for how the world is evolving. So today, you and I are talking about AI, cryptocurrencies. All right? We're talking about digital assets, talking about staking, all the kind of languages. There isn't enough development, or we are not keeping it pace. The shortcoming is that only those who could read the English or the Romanized language are able to benefit from it. So if people who are, if they go to the Tamil corpuses to read about it, then they cannot benefit from it because there aren't enough. Now, in this example, what I tried to do is that I gave this English word, and I said translate it into Tamil. And the one in blue is transliteration. What's transliteration? It's really, say, peer-to-peer in Tamil, using the phonetics. Right? So it's not a translation. It's transliteration. So unless you know English, what peer-to-peer means, you get lost in that. So these are kind of shortcomings that we are seeing it quite prevalent. All right? And then there's another one. There are puris and versus. What is a puris? Facebook is a brand name. But the word face and book are nouns, right? And then the purists have gone on to now change into the Tamil word for face and Tamil word for book. Right? The word for Twitter, before it became X, so we call Twitter in Tamil kichi kichi, right? Because to try and mimic what the bird does. Am I correct? Yeah. So kich kich. Right? Now, and then you can't use that, right? Because it's Twitter, so you can't go and call it that way. So some of the purists have tried to change it. But if I start talking this Tamil language to my Tamil friend, they get lost. I say, have you updated your... What? Have you updated your... Yeah, why don't you go and kich in... What? So these are some of the shortcomings we see. Some of the purists are out there trying to do it, but we don't think it's very smart of them to do that, right? So that's the... And then we have lack of resources, like I said, in some of this. Because they have defined... People have defined cryptocurrency as a currency of the AI world. That's how it is, all right? So if we are not keeping pace to it, then... Now, I just want to very quickly show you some of the real-life uses that's already happened. Now, in the first one, this has already happened. I think it is self-explanatory. You look, is it? Yeah. Great. So if you see here, right, and in China, they've already done that. So what they are doing is that, could you kindly scroll up a little bit? So they are bringing back the grandma alive. So they have now taken the photo of the grandma who has passed on, and then because they loved her so much, they have now used a text, using a chatbot, and she's talking to her loved ones. Is it good? Is it ethical? As long as it brings happiness to someone, I think it's okay, right? And the second example is something yours truly did. And what I have done here is that I gave the image generative tool. I said, give me a Middle Eastern, a South Indian woman in the 40s wearing a headgear, the intricate scarf, in a beautiful portrait, looking directly at the camera. That's the image it threw. And then if you can play it, she is now going to speak to you in, surprise, surprise, hello, hello. Oh, I think.
சங்கம் சில ஆண்டுகளாக செய்து வரும் ஒரு அற்புதமான திட்டத்தை நான் உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன்.
Okay. So what she is saying is, this is something I wanted to announce to my community, saying a certain program that we are running, right? But you look at it, what you could do. So we send greetings with it. I don't need to pay any more models anymore. I can get a model to wear a T-shirt with my brand name on it, created it, and you could see that. So this is the commercial use in any language, Malay or Chinese or Arabic and French, that can be done. AI allows you to do it like right now, right? And the next one is addressing the manpower issues in healthcare. Today, we all know one of the biggest things that's affecting Singapore is aging and healthcare, and today they are using it in these areas. we've got time later. I'll take some questions very fast. And then finally, we've got a thing called to catch a thief. So what this does, this allows you to take whatever text you've got and put in there, and it will tell you how many % of it was generated by ChatGPT or the likes of. And then, this is how the professors are finding whether the submissions by the students are bona fide or written by them, all right? And then this is, if you can see, the good one that may soon replace humans. You want us to be more humans, and then here they have got replacing us for doing that, all right? And then here, could you go and press that? It's there already. There's one that's already out there. Don't worry, nothing vulgar in there. It's here already. Yeah, just click on that stuff. It's just... Right. So here's what they are doing. They have already created animated individuals. I mean, if you look at it, where's the relevance, right? I mean, people are... What happens if there's an individual who's not getting any attention? So he is forced to. Because, the movie She, while, it has a lot of messages in there, right? Today we have got thousands of friends on Facebook, but lack any human friends. We get likes, we die for the likes in there, but we are not getting it in the real world. So slowly, these are the things that AI can either help to cure or it helps us in some way. Now, finally, I want to conclude and say that, that history teaches us the value of embracing new tools. So I think we should not be afraid. We should embrace it. If we do not embrace and use it, people who want to use it to scam or to cheat or to create harm would be using it. So we have got a responsibility to use it and try and enhance it. Now, all these things, none of these people are real photograph. Everyone is created by AI. All right? So thank you very much, and we'll take questions later. Hopefully...